So welcome to episode 4 of Real Event Musings. I've been saving notes for years from weddings and events about things that mostly you should not do, and generally things that, people do because they suck. Alright, so let's dive right in. Couples, another great question you should be asking is, what is the backup plan for power at the venue if the power goes out? These things could happen, right? And the biggest question actually is, ironically, you would think, oh, the power goes out, no problem, whatever. But it is a problem because in New York State, in most municipalities, you can't stay in the venue if the power goes out. It's against the law. Power goes out, you need to leave the venue. Period. That's just the law. But in some cases, where it has happened to me in the past, the captain has allowed us to stay. Again, DJ hat for a minute. We had battery-operated uplights, so the venue was lit completely. All right, ample enough to provide everyone, where they could see. And we also had battery-operated speakers and a power supply, so we could run our equipment for the 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes or whatever it was that the power was out before it was restored. So that is something that I would definitely consider asking your DJ or your band. Hey, you're going to spend $8,000 on a wedding band. Ask them. Ask any vendor who's providing an electrically powered service. What happens if the power goes out? What are you going to do to save my fucking wedding? And let's see what answers you get. I've got them. What does everyone else have is what I want to know. All right, here we go. Photographers, videographers. Right after the ceremony, I'm sure sometimes these weddings have you jacked with the amount of shots you got to take or the shot sheet, the plan. I get it. But speaking for the officiants who might be watching this, please don't take the couple away from the ceremony area right after the ceremony if the officiant is not staying. If they're staying, no worries. Ask them, hey, are you staying? Ask them before the ceremony goes, are you staying or do we have to sign stuff right away? Because we got to get that license signed. That's the most important thing. That's what it's all about. It's about a legal marriage. And without those signatures, it's nothing. Just a bunch of pictures and video. This one goes out to everybody. Everybody out there. Every single frickin' person. It is not now and never has been called an arch. It's an arbor unless it is half round. Then it's an arch. Maybe. Arbor. Use it. Thank you. Dear venue managers, it's always super nice when the venue manager, whoever that may be that day, which is quite often not the salesperson, sadly, if they know which outlets work and don't work, and more importantly, if they know how to turn the fucking outlets on. Just saying. On behalf of every person, every wedding vendor that needs power, we thank you for knowing in advance where they are and how to turn them on. All right, this one goes out to everybody planning proms. Most particularly the venue people. And I understand why they're doing what they're doing. Believe me, I get it. I understand culinary experience, more money, more food, more profit. I get it. I get it. So maybe I should actually tailor this to the people who are planning the proms. The teachers, the advisors, the kids never listen. I hear from them all the time, they don't listen, but it's the advisors. Every prom has a committee which is spearheaded by some teacher somewhere. So this is what I want to tell you. These venues are going to offer you this amazing package of food. And it's a cocktail hour or a mocktail hour. And there's this array of, oh my God, this awesome stuff, right? And then after that, there's like this half-hour flip they got to do to, flip the cocktail food into the buffet, whatever. Assuming it's all in one space. Again, this is for a prom. Now, I don't want to, say your kids don't deserve a great experience, but all the proms I've done in the last 10 years, I've seen the same thing. The kids are sitting there waiting, wasting time. All they want to do is frickin' dance. They want to dance. They came to eat, but if you poll them, 90% of them could give two shits about the food. All they want to do is dance, party, take pictures in the photo booth, do selfies with their friends, whatever. So try to find a venue that isn't so focused on the damn frickin' food presentation that wastes time and this ridiculously high package that you're paying for, and then you're contacting a DJ or whoever, a photo booth operator, and you go, well, we don't have a budget for that. No, it's because you blew it all on a frickin' venue that's going to, charge you X amount of dollars for food that ends up wasting time and money anyway. I've got solutions, ask me. We plan some kick-ass proms. Why the venue changed my timeline, I have no idea. Who am I? I'm just a wedding planner. And I thought we went over this and we covered it, but they changed it anyway. The day of. That's fantastic. Because to them, it's between me and them. To me, it's between me and the couple who hired me to execute this, whether I'm a DJ or a wedding planner, whatever. Now all of a sudden you want to do the parent dances after dinner, because that's what we do here. That's how we do things here. Let me tell you something, couples. If you ever hear a wedding venue manager telling you this is how we do things, go find another fucking place to have your wedding, because it's like every other wedding they have there. It's exactly the goddamn same frickin' wedding. What you need is people who say to you, how would you like to do things? And yes, we embrace how you want to do that. And that's okay if you want to do that. We don't care. We'll do whatever you wish. That's my theory. Nobody really cares if things are done out of the traditional order. No one cares, except for you. But if the couple who's getting married wants to do them that way, what's the big freaking deal? Let them do it. And no, venue managers, I am not going to do the next dance or formality after this song. I just spent 10 minutes getting this dance floor energized because you told me, oh, we're behind, we need, whatever the situation may be. No, I'm not going to do it. Because then I look like an asshole. Everyone yells at me as the DJ. We just got going. Why are you shutting us down? What do you want me to get on the microphone and go, oh, because the venue manager told me? I'm not going to do that either. So no. I'm going to do it after a few more songs. We're going to make things work the right way. It's not my fault that your coordinator, your culinary team, is a half hour behind. Not my fault. Don't put the onus on me. I will literally put it back on you. I promise you I will. And most DJs will too. Here's a great one for the guests. One of my favorites. When you wear a kilt to an Irish wedding, meaning the couple is Irish or at least one of them's Irish and there's Irish people there with Irish ancestry, Irish heritage. You're the only one who wore the kilt. You're a guest. You're not in the wedding party. You're not the groom or the bride. You're not the father of. You're a guest at this wedding, and you wore a kilt. On top of that, you're a fantastically fit person who looks great in the kilt. And you're drinking like an Irishman or Irishwoman all night long. And the DJ or band puts on a killer Irish set. And you don't dance? You are an asshole. Period. You would not believe what we see out there. This is the tip of the iceberg. And this is years of just saving stuff and notes and things. Because, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So, crazy. Knocked me out. Here's a kudo. This was I see a lot of great toasts, right? I love all the different toasts. Yeah, I know a lot of them are the same, but sometimes you get a really nice toast or something funny or, something heartfelt, whatever. But one of the fathers who did a welcome at a wedding, which is a great tradition. If you're not doing it, you really should have bride's father or one of the couple's fathers, whoever, again, depends on who's getting married, do a welcome. It's really awesome. He got up just before the maid of honor and best man did their speeches, and he said, if I'd have known, this is how he started, after he said, welcome everybody. He said, if I'd have known blank and blank had this many friends, I would have never agreed to pay for the wedding. That was awesome. Again, I see a lot of the same stuff every weekend. So me and whoever's with me, you know, like we'll chuckle, we'll look at each other and go, oh, geez, we just heard that last week and we heard that 8 times already. That was original. I love that one. That was perfect. Kudos to you, sir. I'm not going to name the wedding where it was, but you know, if you're watching this, it was your wedding. You know who it was because I've only seen it once. All right. If you're the person who has unplugged the power that the entertainment is using during the dancing, or any time for that matter, right? Any time for that matter, you are not only an asshole, but you should be barred from attending weddings for the rest of your life unless you offer to pay that night for the entire wedding. It's that simple, asshole. Dear caterers and or venues that offer food, most of you are fantastic. Trust me, I know. Like, again, this is random, not speaking of everybody. You know who you are. Do a great job, no worries. Your couple or guests of honor for whatever event, they eat first. Period. Barring some life-altering emergency, like the dress split, she has to go change or sew it, or their son is having a meltdown. We understand as event professionals, and I would assume most guests would too, that, okay, we need to move things along because you can't let like food sit for too long. It's not going to taste the same. But when you just open up a buffet or whatever, and the bride and groom are the last to eat, and that was your doing, because that's what you do, you suck. I'm just going to tell you, you suck. It literally happened one time this year, 2022, and they were out of certain foods. You gotta be kidding me. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, dear officiants, if the altar you're standing on, wherever it is covered in fabric, and there's all kinds of fabric like hanging down from it, and it's gorgeous, right? Like somebody put a lot of work into this. It looks amazing. Whether it's inside, well, I guess it wouldn't be inside. If you are, you're really an asshole. But let's say it's outside and it's covered in fabric and it looks amazing. You should probably not be smoking on it while you're waiting for the wedding to start. And if that's the only reason why you shouldn't be, then you shouldn't be doing weddings. You shouldn't be smoking while you're waiting for a ceremony if you're a smoker. Period. On top of that, officiants, you need to have the guests sit the fuck down sometime within the first minute or two of your ceremony so all the damn pictures don't look the same. Sit. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. It's so easy to say. And not that I'm an expert by any means, but at this same wedding, in this case it was a bride, when she's walking down the aisle, you should probably say, please rise, because they didn't. And stop putting your cigarette out. It's time to get people to rise. Believe me, I've seen it all. And last thing, for all officiants, and most professionals know this, but I still see it a lot. Get out of the way when you pronounce them. Nobody wants your mug in the picture. Take the microphone with you if it's on a stand. 1%. Little things you can do every time, just make it better, right? Dear wedding guests, here's a novel idea. Trust me on this, it's a novel. Please leave the couple alone while they're eating. There is nothing that is that important that needs to be talked about when they're sitting there at a sweetheart table by themselves, trying to enjoy themselves and take in all the people that they've invited and take in all the money they've spent on this venue and the lighting and the decor and the floral. It's 20 minutes. They could probably sit there without any interruption and actually enjoy their meal. Whatever you have probably can wait. That's all I'm saying. It's like a respect thing. Just, leave it alone for a few minutes. Venues. This one goes up to venues. There's a few venues in within like an hour or two of where I am in upstate New York that have these weird locations. Sometimes they want to put a DJ up on a balcony or you know, on this weird like stage 3 floors up. So here's my thing, and I've been there as a DJ. I've been there, right? I've seen other events there where the band was always on the floor, the dance floor. The band was there. So what's the frickin' difference? Well, the difference is it's 1 or 2 people versus, say, sometimes as many as 10. But if you wouldn't put a band up there, don't put the fucking DJ up there. I don't give a shit. Most DJs, actually, who knows? Most DJs want to be close, just like the band does. They want the guests to feed off of their energy, and they're exuding a positive energy. When you're 2 flights up and nobody can see you, nobody gives a shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you wouldn't put yourself there, don't put someone else there. That simple. Photographers. I think I'm directing this to more of the newer photographers, especially these really trendy ones who are like natural light photographers and things like that. You know, there's a bunch out there I've encountered, believe me, in the last several years. They're amazing, right? And the pictures are amazing. Until we get in the venue, and it's a little too dark. It's a little too dark. Well, I don't have a flash. I just have my onboard flash. I'm a natural light photographer. Well, you didn't do a site visit. You didn't take into consideration that, you know, the sun goes down at 6 o'clock and now it's darker in the venue, and the venue is very intimately lit because it looks gorgeous, and all the pictures that the other photographers who have flashes take that look amazing. And now you're asking us, the venue manager, to turn on all the ugly house lights. They're called house lights. And we don't have a choice, because we're going to go to the bride and groom, or two brides, 2 grooms, whatever. We're going to ask them, hey, you know, your photographer said this and that. And next thing you know, as soon as those lights go on, the first thing we hear is 150 people going, because they think something's wrong. Oh, no, nothing's wrong. The photographer just didn't spend the $400 on a flash that they need to take the appropriate pictures in low-level lighting. And that's mostly because, too, they didn't do a site visit or ask questions. But damn it, you got some great pictures. I'm happy for you. You just ruined someone's fucking wedding. All right, couples. If you are smokers, let's say, you know, I've worked with some folks who are smokers, both of them. And by that I mean a lot, like not just like, you know, a couple throughout the day. I mean like every 10 minutes kind of smoke thing. When are we getting through the next formality? Because I got to smoke again. And on top of that, you want a great dance party? Here's some advice. One of you smoke at a time. The other one stay on the dance floor. If you want a great dance party. If you don't care, then just do your thing. Because here's what happens at weddings. You know, people follow the dresses and the tuxes. If there's 2 brides, wherever those 2 brides are, if they're both wearing dresses, they're going to follow those 2 dresses. If there's a bride and groom, they're going to follow the dress, they're going to follow the tux. If there's 2 grooms, they're going to follow the tuxes. You understand what I'm saying? People go where the guests of honor are because they want to talk to you. But if you are out there with your hands up and you're dancing and you're having a great time, they're going to be right there with you. On the flip side of that, if you want to leave the reception, say it ends at 10 and it's 9 o'clock and you're ready to leave, and the brides or the grooms or the bride and groom or guests of honor are out there with their hands up, you don't have to say goodbye. You don't have to go out there and stop them from enjoying themselves just to say goodbye. I can guarantee you, 8 times out of 10, unless you're like the maid of honor or a mother and father who are leaving early, they're not going to be upset if you don't say goodbye. I don't think the next day they're going to be, you know, my 3rd cousin never said goodbye to me last night. I wonder what happened. I'm telling you, let them enjoy themselves. There's no need to come out and stand on a packed dance floor and create this non-movement environment. Don't do it. Hey, it's Marky Mark, and when I shot this whole video initially, I thought it was going to be a quick one, but we have 60 minutes of footage, so I'm breaking it down into 3 episodes. So stay tuned for part 3 next.